Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Monday Pilates class. I hope you're all really well and had a great weekend. Thank you for joining me today on your mat, and I hope you're ready for a really lovely, balancey, aligned, strengthening Pilates practice. As usual, I'm going to be giving you some adaptations throughout, so please choose whichever suits you best. And also, I'll be dividing the class into two 30-minute sections so you can do it all together as one, or divide it into two, whichever suits you. Okay, so as usual, please do listen to your body. Don't try to push yourself to do something that you're not quite ready for yet. And remember, you can always have a rest at any point, or just sit out a few reps. I'll take it slower, whatever suits you again. Okay, so we are going to be doing some really lovely standing exercises to start with. So I'm just trying to make it so you can see my feet. There we are. Okay, so we're going to be doing a variety of standing exercises and swapping about how we are using our feet as well. So by changing the positioning of our feet, we can also change the exercise, zone into different parts of our body and really challenge our stability, our deep core muscles and our balance as well. But to start with, we're just going to find that lovely standing correctly position. So we're just going to walk through our feet. And when you walk, I'd like you to try and peel your foot off the floor. So rather than picking your foot up as one big piece, you're just peeling nice and slowly. And then come to stand somewhere halfway in between. And see where your feet settle down. Already my mat has got really wrinkled up. So annoying. Okay, so then trying to bring your feet in so that they're parallel with each other. And feeling how the weight goes down through your feet. So we're just trying to build awareness of where our feet are on the floor and hang your arms down nice and long as well. So we're just going to start rocking our weight from side to side, feeling how it transfers from your left through to your right. And then try and set yourself up somewhere where the weight is going down nice and evenly through both of your feet. You're feeling balanced. So your feet are inner hip distance apart. So that's exactly underneath these bones here. Okay, so let's check our posture. Check if you're pushing your right hip forward or your left hip. Try and make yourself nice and even here. Drawing up through your spine, so think about length through your spine. Use the thread through the crown of your head, pulling yourself up towards the ceiling. And we're going to go into something called lateral breathing. So let's place your hands on your rib cage. And every time you breathe in, try and expand your rib cage as wide as possible. So breathing in, widen deeply and full all the way to the back of your ribcage, the front and the side, so your hands are expanding, and then breathing out, feeling everything close down. So it's very different from yogic breathing where we send the breath into our belly. We're sending the breath really wide and full into our ribcage, expanding our lungs and closing down. Good, let's go a few more times. And as you breathe out, just let your jaw relax and your shoulders relax as well. Good, and one more after this one. Lovely. Okay, so let your arms come down nice and wide, nice and heavy even. And we're going to go into a pelvic elevator. So this is something that we don't probably do enough, but it's just going to get our pelvic floor working. So women, it's as if you're sitting on the toilet, going for a wee, and you're trying to stop. And we've got 5 different levels. Okay, so from 0 where you're just emptying to 5. This is really weird to talk about. To 5 where you're trying to really clench. And gentlemen, it's as if you're about to walk into the North Sea and you're trying to stop yourself getting cold. So we're going to work on a scale from 0 to 5. And we're just going to work up that pelvic floor from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back down. So this is something that I can talk you through, but obviously it really depends on you tuning into your body. So I'd like you to really think about this, even though, yes, it's weird. And let's start going. So you're going to start at 0, and then gradually and smoothly bring that pelvic floor up and in, feeling those muscles clench, and maybe those lower core abs work as well until you're on a 5. And then gradually release. Okay, so this is a really simple pelvic floor exercise that's just going to help strengthen that body of muscle, which is that sling at the base of your torso. Let's go a few more times. So just remember as well that this pelvic floor is connected to all these core muscles and also those lumbar spine muscles as well. So sometimes by strengthening your pelvic floor, you're strengthening the overall structure and network of muscles as well. So we're going to go a few more times here. Drawing in and releasing down. Good. And a few more times. So there should be no external difference, all an internal muscle moving. And one more time. Excellent. Okay, so now you're going to use your pelvic floor responsively. So sometimes you won't need to activate a pelvic floor at all. In other movements, such as when we're lying on the floor doing double knee folds, you're going to have to use it a lot more. So now you know how to recruit it. You can learn how to use it responsibly to whatever your body's doing. Okay, so let's move into some big movements now. So double check you're still in that neutral spine and pelvis. And we can go into a really easy double floating arm. So we're going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, start reaching your hands out to the side, washing them in your peripheral vision, making sure your body remains balanced. So my arms have gone off the top. And reach out to the sides and down. Let's go again. Breathing out really smoothly, waking up that shoulder girdle. So the shoulder girdle is moving. We've got a lot of muscles there, and that's going to help the bones in our shoulder girdle move in the correct way, really smoothly. Reaching out and down. Okay, we're going to go a few more times. So really reach out to the sides. And we've got 3 more to go from here. So it might seem really quite simple, but this is an exercise that can really help get those muscles working super smoothly. Round and down. And we have 2 more. Ask yourself what's going on with your hips again. So you should neither be swaying backwards or swaying forwards. So you're using all these core muscles to help keep you balanced. And we're going to go one more time. Breathing out. And in to come down. Excellent. All right, we're going to turn this into a standing side reach. And then with our side reach, we're going to play with our feet. So you should be able throughout the series to feel that slight difference through and see what happens to your core as well. Okay, so the first one, we have our feet in parallel, hip distance apart. Remember in that standing side reach, we're trying to get that lovely flexion all the way from the top of your head right to the base of your spine. So rather than being a kind of lean over, you're trying to lengthen up and out to get a really lovely curve through your spine, okay? Both sides of your waist remain really long. So we're going to start nice and balanced here, breathing in. As you breathe out, let's float one arm all the way up, reaching up and over, lifting out of your midsection and getting that lovely curve. So all the way from my spine, all the way to the tip of my head. Inhale to restack and float that arm down. So you might feel the weight just shifting slightly through your feet as you lean over to the side. Breathing out, let's go on the other side, reaching up and over, toe muscles coming in to support you. I'm going to start small today and build up this movement. So especially if this is the first proper movement you've done all day, take it slowly to start with. You can imagine that you are moving between 2 panes of glass. There's no flexion forwards, extension backwards, or rotation. Good. Reaching back up, reaching the arm down. Good. Let's go again. Breathing out. All the way up and over. So feel how the weight is moving and just check that your toes aren't gripping the floor. We should have nice long toes that are helping you with that micro balance, but they're not doing all the work for you because you're really clenching them. Reach up and over again. We've got 1 more to each side here. Breathing out. And our final one, breathing out all the way up and over, restacking the arm and down. Wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to just play with our feet a bit more and take our feet slightly further apart and turn them out in a Pilates stance. So a Pilates stance, if you go from parallel, I'd like you to turn your feet out 30 degrees. So it's quite a small angle, but it's just going to change how your legs are in your hips. So we've gone into a lateral turn now. So already your core muscles should be feeling a bit different because you're having to support yourself here. So I'd like you to balance yourself somewhere in the middle. But for this side reach, we're going to get some really fluid arms. And although we're going to keep our feet flat on the floor, your weight is going to shift, okay? So we're going to start breathing in. Breathing out, let's bring one arm up and over. Reach into the side, get that flexion in, and let the other arm just move in response. Inhale to restack. Exhale to start cartwheeling your arms around. And going to the other side, and you might feel that whichever side you're bending to, the weight is transferring over, even though you're keeping the opposite foot down. Breathing in. And out to reach up and over. Inhale. So you can see a little bit more movement in your spine now because we've changed the position of our feet. So this is gorgeous for getting length through your spine, really opening out the sides of your waist. So if you do have scoliosis, hopefully this should feel really nice on you. Lovely. We've got one more after this. Breathing out. Really engaging your core to help you restack. So remember, you're lengthening up and out of your waist. And then coming up nice and tall, bring that arm down. Awesome. Okay, so we've got one last standing side reach movement. This time we have our legs crossed over one another. So starting in your neutral spine and pelvis, we're then going to transfer the weight onto our left side and then bring that right foot up and over. So it's ever so slightly in front, your legs across. So already you've reduced that base of support, meaning that your core muscles are working hard to keep you balanced. Okay, it's quite hard to speak whilst you're like this. So make sure you've got enough space between your feet so that your knees aren't pressing into each other and forcing your knees to bend. Try to get that weight even, breathing in. Use your pelvic floor, engage your toe muscles, breathing in. You might feel your glutes switched on as well. And breathing out, reaching up and over. And this is where you really have to tune into your body. And feel how those really deep core stabilizing muscles all around your torso are working. Let's go to the other side, breathing out. Try not to let your hips shift over. Feel how your legs switch on as well as your core here. Good. Breathing out again. Reaching up and over. Inhale and down. Breathing out again. All the way up and over, taking it slowly and smoothly if you need to. Going again. Super. Up and over. We've got one last time like this. Double check your posture. Make sure that you're not leaning forward. Really try not to let your hips zigzag to the side here. Last one. All the way up and over. Restack and down. Bring that leg back through. Walk through your feet just to give your ankles and your feet a little bit of mobility. And then we're going to swap the other way. So this time, just transfer the weight onto your right foot and bring that left foot forward and over. Good. Okay, let's go from here. Breathing in and breathing out. It might feel slightly different on this side. Again, you're going to use all of those muscles in your legs and your core to help you stabilize and balance here. Breathing out, up and over. Restack. And down. Good. Double check that you're not clenching your toes. Make sure you're still breathing wide and full into your rib cage, jaw relaxed and released. And if you need to, just slow it down so you can catch your balance. Okay, all the time we have our core muscles working. Think about reaching through your fingers so it's not a collapse into the side. You're really lifting up and out, breathing out. We've got one last one like this. And our last one. Breathing out all the way over. You might find that one side is slightly different from the other. Bring the arm down, bring your feet back, and once again, let's just walk through our feet. Okay, so now we're going to get some movement through our pelvis and spine. So I warn you, these a few exercises that we're doing are going to look really weird if anyone sees you do it. So hopefully we're in a nice private place. We're going to stand back again with our feet hip distance apart. So just take some time to find that position. Double check that your feet are parallel to each other and place your hands on your hips. So now we're just going to go into a mini Pilates squat. So don't worry about the breathing first of all. Just send your knees forward and your bottom backwards. So you've maintained that neutral spine and pelvis, and place your hands on your thighs. So you're supporting yourself very lightly through your hands. Keep your chest open, keep the back of your neck really long, and we're going to go into a standing pelvic clock. So this time, it's like you're just wobbling your bottom around, and you know we do this on the mat. We're going to do exactly the same movement, standing up. So you're tucking your pelvis underneath you and then sending an imaginary marble around points to this compass. So it's just, you can't really see somewhere in this top. You're wobbling around, creating a circle. So imagine that your tailbone's got a pencil on the end and you're trying to draw a circle with your tailbone. So this should really open out your lumbar spine, get your pelvis moving on top of your femurs, which are your legs, and also really get those deep stabilizing muscles working as well. So you're really engaging through. And you can play with the size of the circle as well. So you can make them really small circles, or you can try and make them really big. So using your hands on your legs just to support you. Make sure you keep your waist long, both sides. Chest nice and open, back of your neck long as well. And we're just breathing normally here. Double check again what's going on with your toes and make sure that your knees are remaining over your second toe. Okay, one more in this direction. And let's go the other way. So if you suffer from lower backache at any point during the day, this is a really nice one to do just to open out. Good, and really enjoy how that feels. So I can feel it's opening out the vertebrae in my spine. Good, and we've got one last one like this. Back through to center. Let's press up, standing nice and tall. Once again, just walk out, releasing any tension that you're holding in your legs. Good, and we've got another one that we're going to do standing up. So it was our standing pelvic clocks, pelvic compass. We're going to go into standing cat. So this time, again, feet hip distance apart, send your knees forward, toe muscles switching on already, hands on your knees just for a bit of feedback. And this is our start position. Then we're going to go into a cat just like if you were in 4-point kneeling. So we're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, tuck your tailbone underneath you and try and arch your spine into that lovely cat movement. So your arms might move ever so slightly. And then as you inhale, send your tailbone back, your breastbone forward, and really exaggerate that lumbar curve. Going again. So you're moving your pelvis on top of your thighs. It's a weight-bearing exercise as well, so it's really great for your bone density. Because we're holding this isometric movement, our thighs are working super hard, tucking your tummy button, your pelvis underneath you, tummy coming up and in, rounding through. And coming back. Remember, if you have problems with your knees and they're kind of going out or in, place a big cushion or a squishy ball between them if you need to. And that's just going to help you with the feedback of where they are in space. You might find yourself getting a little bit warmer here. I definitely am. Here we go. 2 more times, rolling through. And back, and our last one. Underneath you. And coming back, and then press through. Oh, I can definitely feel that through in my legs now. And just releasing any tension you're holding here. Super. Okay, so now we've got a new exercise that is a standing hip hinge to a lunge. So I'm going to talk you through it, but remember, you can break it down, do it at your own pace, just do whatever you feel is necessary to help you here. Okay, so it's like we're going to go into a mini pelvic Pilates squat, but you're going to hinge a little bit more at your hips, and then you're going to bring one leg up and take it behind you. So I'm going to show you what to do first of all, and then I'll add in the breathing cues. So we start with our feet hip distance apart once again. Bottom goes back, and you're hinging your body forward, almost like you're trying to get your upper spine parallel with the floor. Then you're going to bring one leg up. You can have your hands on your hips and place it back behind you, okay? Then raise it to standing, bend forward, bring that leg back through, okay? So there's quite a lot going on, but it's really going to help you just tune into your body and help with your balance as well. When you have your feet on the ground, rather than clenching at the mat with your toes, try and lengthen them out so you've got a really soft standing support, which can be reactive to whatever your body's doing. So we're going to go again. So this time we breathe out to hinge, in to float that knee up, out to step back, keep your back heel off, come up. Coming forward again, place that leg down and stand up. I totally forgot to give you the breathing. So we're going to breathe out, in to bring that leg up, and then exhale to standing. So feel your balance here, your feet are hip distance apart. In to lean back forward, and out to pull that leg through and down. Oh, nearly lost my balance. Standing up. Okay. So out, in, out, and in. Good, standing up again. So you should probably feel that your thighs are working super hard and you're really having to work on your balance here. Okay, so we're just going to forget the breathing because I've confused myself and there is a lot of movement going on. Just make sure that you're breathing rhythmically and slowly and not holding your breath, okay? So we're going to start with our feet back to hip distance apart. Bottom goes back, core muscles come on to support you here. Bringing one leg up, keeping your balance, placing it behind you, and coming up. Leaning back forward, keep those toes released on the floor. Bring that leg through and down. Standing all the way up once again. Okay, let's go again. Coming down, knee coming up, and back. Leaning forward, knee up and down. Okay, we've got one more on each side. So really working on our balance. Because you're standing in a one-legged squat and moving the other leg, you're really going to have to use those deep core muscles to help you here. So once again, coming down, bring that knee up, core muscles working hard, pelvic floor responding, and your body goes up into your neutral position. Leaning forward, so you're hinging forward once again. You use your balance. Leg comes back up, down and through. It's not the most elegant exercise, but you should really feel that you're concentrating hard. Keep your chest nice and wide and open. Sinking down again, knee comes up, stepping back and through. Forward, bring that knee up, down and standing. Well done. walking out once again, and then we're going to do a standing arm extension exercise. So we're going to be hip distance apart, toe muscles coming in, so check your posture, check that your feet are in a hip distance apart. Breathing in here. As you breathe out, you're going to float your arms all the way up, trying to get into like a shoulder, rib cage closure position. If you are standing on the mat, lying on the mat, I've lost my words. Make sure you're not pushing your hips forward. You're nicely balanced. Arms go up, reaching forward, and then our arms are going to go back behind us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're getting shoulder extension here. And every time you pulse back, try and get a little bit further. So let's go again. Breathing out, core muscles come in. Don't push your hips forward. Inhale to bring your arms back down. And then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go again. We're going to do 2 more like this. Then we're going to grab our hand weights and add in a little bit more of a challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again. Coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our final one. Bring your arms down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Let's grab our hand weights or our water bottles, and we can do exactly the same with those. Okay, so holding the weights in each hand, we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Float your arms all the way up, going directly over your shoulders. Might feel different already. Slowly reaching forward and down. We're changing our center of gravity all the time, so your torso is working hard. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and going again. So as you do those pulses, feel how your shoulders are working. Reaching forward and down. Even with like 1 kilogram weights, this should feel a lot more difficult. As you push your arms back, make sure that you're not moving your torso. It's really easy to do. Arms down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 3 more like this. You might feel that your arms feel slightly different. So if you do have shoulder issues with your mobility, do whatever suits you best. Don't try to push through any pain or to a position that you know is not right for you. Coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 1 more like this. All the way up. Reaching forward and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming back through to center and popping those weights down next to you. Okay, so now we are going to work into a roll down into a 4-point kneeling. Now this is quite an intense exercise, so again, just do what suits you best. If this isn't for you, that's absolutely fine. It requires a lot of strength of your upper body and lots of core control as well. So give it a go, but if you suffer with your wrists or you just know that your spine isn't in a place right now where you can do this safely, then sit this exercise out. So we're starting at the top of our mat, feet hip distance apart once again. We're going to go into a lovely roll down. Remember, in that roll down, you can have your hands on your legs if you just need a bit of support with your body, or if it's just like a mental trick as well that helps you get a little bit more smooth. So we're going to breathe in. Breathing out, nod your chin forward, toe muscles coming in, rolling down. Lovely flexion through your spine. Keep your bottom from hinging backwards, so you're keeping the weight over the center of your arches, and then bend your knees if you need to so that your hands touch the floor, and then walk your hands forward. Now you can either go into a really strong plank position with your hands directly beneath your shoulders, or you can sit your knees down as well, just to give you a little bit of a breather. Pressing back up, and then we're going to walk our hands back. 1, 2, 3, bottom high in the air, toe muscles switching on. Rolling all the way up, 1 bone at a time, opening out the front of your hips and restacking your spine. Head coming nice and tall. Okay, so let's go again. Breathing in. Breathing out to roll forward. Lovely flexion through your spine. Weight over the arches of your feet. Core muscles switching on. Bend your knees when you need to. Walk forward. 1, 2, 3. Hands either underneath your shoulders or knees coming down as well. And pressing back through. 1, 2, 3. Heels going down. Rolling all the way up. Okay, we're going to do one more and land on the floor. So breathing in and breathing out again, rolling forward, getting that lovely forward flexion, toe muscles switching on to support you, arms hanging heavy, bend your knees if you want to. 1, 2, 3, bring your knees down, sit your bottom back over your heels and come into that lovely rest position, arms out in front of you or down by your sides, and breathe in and out here. So we're halfway through the class, so you can either pause it here or keep going with me, but we're going to stay on the floor for some really lovely 4-point kneeling exercises and some side lying as well. So just take a couple of minutes to have a bit of a breather, a bit of a drink. Super. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is some 4-point kneeling. So remember, if you need extra cushioning for your knees, you can use a couple of flat cushions like this, or alternatively, if you have problems with your wrist, you can create a fist, have a long back of wrist here, or you can place the heels of your hands on a cushion with your fingers out in front, and that's just going to give you a little bit of extra support. Reduce the angle here so you can spread the weight more evenly through your hands. Whichever you decide to do, just make sure that you've got lots of space between your fingers. So by having that space, you can really distribute the weight rather than just trying to send it down through the heel. And that's just going to help you with any pain that you may suffer from here. Okay, also, if you have anything handy that you can balance on the back of your pelvis, that'd be great. You could use a rolled up jumper. If you have a squishy Pilates ball like this, that works fantastically. Or a cushion works as well. It's just going to help us make sure that we're keeping our pelvis in neutral and really well aligned. Because if this falls off, you know that you've started to tilt your pelvis. So it's a really great aid just to help you realize where you are in space. Okay, so we're going to find our 4-point kneeling position and work into tabletop 1 first of all. So we're just taking it down a notch today. Sometimes we go straight to tabletop 2. We're just going to work on our alignment a little bit more today. So we're going to go 4-point kneeling. So knees directly beneath your hips and wrists directly beneath your shoulders. Make sure that the centers of your elbows face each other. If you are hypermobile, you might find it really easy to pop your elbows forward. You can see that my arm's on a bit of an angle here. But you need to make sure that the centers of your elbows face each other. We're just going to tilt our pelvis backwards and forwards slightly. So just tucking your tailbone underneath you, you can feel how your spine rounds and then sticking it out again. So tucking it under, toe muscles switch on, sticking it out. Tucking under and sticking out. And we're going to go 2 more times like this. Tucking and extending. And tucking and extending. So then we can find that place halfway in between. And then I'd like you to pop whatever prop you are using on the base of your spine. Okay, so I've got a ball there. So if I start tilting around, it's quite hard to tilt actually. If I start tilting around, you can see it's going to fall off. So that's going to help me know. Okay, so I'm going to work into tabletop 1 first of all. Tabletop 1 is where we slide opposite hand and leg away from us, keeping our fingers on the mat and our toes on the mat as well. So we're not lifting off just yet, but it's a really great way to get our balance, work through our core muscles as well, and just learn how to transfer our weight really effectively and efficiently. And that's going to really help with those core strength and also our balance. So We have our 4-point kneeling position. And then as we breathe in, we're going to slide opposite arm and leg away. So make sure, I can already feel that my pelvis is tilting. Make sure that you maintain that neutral spine and pelvis. It might be a little bit harder than you think. It's really easy to go into those big movements. We're going to try and keep it slow and small. So bring that hand back. You're going to go on the other side now. So sliding your fingers away, sliding your toes away. Focus on keeping that neutral spine and come back. So going away, I can really feel all these muscles around my tummy switching on to help me here. So breathing in to slide, out to come back. So the way we're doing this breathing, because when we then go into tabletop 2, we lift on the exhale. So we're just preparing for that. So inhale to slide, coming back. Keep the back of your neck long. Ask yourself if you're dropping your head down or looking forward. You should just be as if you were standing up. So you've got that lovely neutral curves of your spine. Sliding away again. Really extending through that back leg and extending through that arm again. And again, sliding away, fully extending that back leg and coming through. Slide and return. Slide again. And return. Tummy muscles coming in, switching on, slide, and come back. Good. And one more, sliding away and coming back. We're going to sink our bottom back over our heels. Give yourself a little bit of a rest here. Roll your wrists around to get that movement through there. And we're going to go right into tabletop 2 now. So this is where it's going to get a little bit more tricky. So we're going to do the same breathing pattern, but this time we're going to lift up our limbs. So balance whatever prop you have on the back of your pelvis. Now, word of warning, if you have a really deep lumbar spine, this is going to be a lot easier because you've got more of a curve to help you hold that support. If you have got less of a lumbar curve like me, it's going to be a little more tricky. So start in that 4-point kneeling position. We're going to inhale, slide opposite arm and leg away, really extend through your fingers and your toes, and then exhale to float up, keeping your spine in neutral, and with control, lower down and return. I'm feeling that all these muscles around here are working super hard. Let's go again on the other side, sliding on the inhale, exhale to float, reach into your fingers and your toes. Make sure that you're not dropping your head down and come back through. So hopefully today the prop is helping you find that a bit more stability and strength. Inhale, slide again. Exhale to float. Coming back down and return. And again, sliding, floating. Good, you've got 2 more on each side. Remember, you can rest if you need to. Give your wrists a bit of a rock out. And remember to breathe. We're breathing in and out. And our final one on each side. Sliding, really extending through that leg, floating up. So really great for your pelvic floor health and the strength of the back of your legs and your glutes as well here. We're getting the posterior line of our body working. Sliding back through, sending your bottom back and having a rest here. Give your wrists a roll around. And we're going to turn this into a donkey kick. So now you have some options. If this is too much for your wrists, we can alter the position. So even if you're in fists and that was too much, you can bring your elbows down so that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders and your forearms are resting out along the floor. And this should really take the pressure off those wrists. You can do the same exercise here. So with this donkey kick, we keep our pelvis still as you float one knee up and bring back down, okay? So you're keeping the angle of your knee the same and just flexing and extending at the hip. asking yourself whether you're rocking your pelvis from side to side again. So toe muscles switching on. Actually, I think this is harder than the version that is the regular version. In the regular version, again, you can use that ball on the back of your spine. And hinge at the hip, bring down. Actually, they're probably about the same. It's just an unfamiliar position. So you're hinging. Try not to drop that ball off your spine and come back. So you really need to focus in with what your pelvis is doing. Coming back down, good. And going again on the other side, hinging up and down. Good. Keep that core connection throughout this exercise. Bring that leg up and down. Breathing out, coming back down, and one last time. Breathing out and in. I'm going to sit back. Give your wrists a rock out. We've got a couple more in 4-point kneeling. So remember, you can have a break, you can just take it slowly, or you can just continue as we are. We're going to go into a dynamic side twist prep to start with. So this is the one where we're going to shift our way over and lift ourselves onto our sides. We'll demonstrate first of all, but we have done the first slide already. So we were in that lovely 4-point kneeling position. We're going to inhale to slide one leg back. And then as we exhale, turn and lift that top arm up, okay? So you're pressing the mat away from you. You've got a really long body. Your foot is on the floor supporting you. And then we're going to circle the arm back round and draw your knee back underneath you. Okay, so let's go on the other side. Inhaling to slide. Exhaling to turn and reach the arm up, keeping your balance. Circling round and coming through. Inhale to slide and lift. Exhale. Come back through. So we're going to keep it small and controlled. Slow and controlled. If you try going faster, you might find that you're flinging your arms around and you're forgetting to use the core strength that you've got. So really going to try to keep it smooth as possible. Lifting up and down. Okay, so if you want a bit of extra, we're going to go into a leg lift as well to see how you get on. Inhale to slide and turn. And then this time on the exhale, we're going to float that top leg up to hip height. Bring it back down, return and through. Good. Going on the other side now, sliding away. So this is our inhale. Exhale to float that top leg up to hip height, keeping that length through your leg. Bring it back down, return and through. So really working on your strength now. Remember to keep the centers of your elbows. I'm saying this as much as for you as for me. I find it really easy to pop my elbows out. So we're going to keep our arms really strong. Inhale, sliding back and up. Exhale to float. Inhale to come back round and through. Inhale and up. Exhale to lift. Bring back down. Circle round. Bring your knees back underneath you. Push your bottom back and give yourself a rest here. So circling your wrists around. Lots of strength through there. Super. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves down onto the mat. We're going to do something called a series of 5. So there has been a plan. We have been doing one of these pretty much every week. So now we've been building up our strength and our stamina. We should be able to put them all together in something called the Pilates Series of 5. It's a classical set of exercises. So it's some of the original Joseph Pilates exercises. And today we're going to try putting them all together. As usual, rest if you need to. You can put your head down on the mat at any time. So if you find that you're getting a bit of neck pain and neck strain, don't push through it, just put your head back down onto the floor. and you can rest at any time. It is quite intense. So we're going to warm up first with our hundreds, and that's going to get our spine ready for movement. So you're going to place cushion back down on the floor and bring yourself down to lie onto the floor. So nice and strong in our relaxation position. And then we're going to check that our feet are hip distance apart, knees at the ceiling, arms nice and long by your side, shoulders released. We're going to go into a little bit of a pelvic tilt. So rocking your pelvis back, imprinting your spine, and arching away. Imprinting and arching. And then we're going to find that halfway through position. So now we're going to extend our arms so that they are mid-thigh level. And then we're going to come into our curl up. Okay, so this is option 1 for the hundreds. We pulse with the movement coming from our shoulder, keeping our torso completely still. That's option 1. Option 2, you can come into a double knee fold, making sure you've not rocked your spine and pelvis back. You're still in neutral. Remember, you can place your head down at any time. Option 3, connect your inner thighs and point your legs away. Okay? So find whichever position you're going to start in. Remember, you can change throughout. So if you fancy doing some in double knee fold, some with your legs extended, that is fine. But make sure that when you start to feel any strain, you do take it down much, because I'd rather you didn't injure yourself. So coming into the curl up, extend your arms, palms facing down, ready to pulse from the shoulder. We're going to pulse in and out for 5. So I'm going to start in double knee fold today. We're going to breathe in and then out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your knees back in, place your head down, and turn your head from side to side. Well done. So hopefully we've been doing this for the past 3 weeks. So hopefully every single time you do this, it's getting a little bit more easy for you, and a little bit smoother. Okay, good. So now we've fired up our core muscles. We're going to go into our series of 5. So we're going to start with a single leg stretch. So again, remember, you can keep your head down on the floor. You're going to find that neutral starting position. So just rock your spine backwards and forwards. Bring your knees in one at a time. Heels come together, knees hip distance apart. Extend your hands at either side of your knees. Remember, we're going to draw those knees in one at a time, using our hands to draw in rather than for our hands to complete our curl up. So it's very easy to hang off your knee to hold into that curl up. Instead, you're going to bring that knee in with your hands and maintain the curl up through the strength of your body. So from our neutral, bring your knees in, heels hip distance apart, heels together, knees hip distance apart, hands extended either side of your knees. Come into the curl. This is our start position. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, straighten one leg away, really straighten through that leg, and draw the other knee in towards your shoulder. Inhale to swap. Exhale to straighten. Inhale to swap. Exhale to straighten. Really lengthen through that leg. Keep your torso as still as possible. Remember, you can place your head down anytime you need to. Straightening away. And again. Straightening on the exhale. Inhale to swap. Exhale to straighten. Good. One more time on each side. Nice and slowly. Bring your knees in, place your head down. We're going to take a rest between each of the exercises because it's super strong and quite a lot on your head as well. So our second one, we're going to go into our double leg stretch. Now, again, you have an option. You can break it down into 2 parts. So our first part is In that neutral lying down position, we're going to lengthen up. So we're in a curl up, hands mid-thigh level, palms facing down. As we inhale, we send our hands back into ribcage closure. As we exhale, we circle around. So we inhale and we exhale, okay? If you're going to add on the legs as well, we start in that double knee fold, heels together, knees hip distance apart, come into your curl up. And then as we inhale, we send arms and legs away from us. Exhale to return. Inhale to come away. Exhale to return. Okay, so choose whichever you're going to do, and then we're going to do it all together. So come into that curl up if you need to. Hands extended. Inhale, straighten away. Exhale, come back in. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, return. We're going to do 4 more like this. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lovely. Exhale again. Inhale and exhale. Bring your head down, look from side to side, relax your spine. Good. Placing your legs down one at a time. And then we're going to do a crisscross, okay? So this time, get rid of your cushion. Place your hands behind your head. And bring your legs in one at a time, once again, into that. Actually, no, I've got that completely wrong. That's why I'm pausing there. We're going to go into a straight leg stretch. So ignore what I just said. I'm going to place that cushion back underneath you. And this time, I'm going to come into that double knee fold. Arms extended by your knees. And then you're going to straighten one leg away and point the other leg up into the air. Okay, so this is our start position. You come into curl up. So this time it's like a single leg stretch, but with straight legs. Once again, you're using your hands to draw your knees in rather than to maintain that curl up. So you're going to breathe in and breathe out to swap. In and out. So your legs, as you breathe out, you're pointing one away and one up. Really keep your legs long. It's super easy to start bending your knees. You should feel this in your lower core. If you need to place your head down, you can. Breathing out, into swap, out. Into swap and out. 2 more to each side. And out, good. Keep the back of your ribs nice and heavy on the floor. Last one. Bring your knees in, place your head down. And again, look from side to side. Good. Okay, so now we're going to turn it into a double leg lift and lower. Okay, I want you to be really careful with what's going on in your spine here. It's super easy to take lots of strain, so you can build it up bit by bit. You can just do 1 or then do 2 or 3, build it up slowly. But if you feel that your spine is straining at all, please don't do this exercise. So if you know that you're a little bit weak around your core, you can sit this one out. So to start with, we bring our legs up one at a time until they are up in the air. Connect your inner thighs, arms down on the floor. As you exhale, you float your legs down. Inhale to bring them up. So that's 1 rep. So you need to also react through your pelvis. So with this exercise, you will find that you're imprinting into the mat a little bit, and that's absolutely fine. Even though the other exercises are really careful, but this one, you do need that little bit of movement to help you with that exercise. So we're going to go again. Hinging and back through. Breathing out. And back through. So today we're keeping our head down. Next time we're going to bring our head up a little bit. We've got 1 more. And then float your knees back in towards you. Give yourself a rock from side to side. Well done. Okay, so now we've got 1 more in the series of 5. So you're going to get rid of our cushion and place our hands in our head. So our head is supported. Double knee fold. So find that neutral spine and pelvis in double knee fold. Heels together, knees hip distance apart. Come into your curl up. Head is heavy in your hands, so your neck is really safe to support. We're going to breathe in, breathing out, turn, in and turn, okay? So you're going to turn, so bring that knee into that opposite elbow as you straighten the opposite leg away. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, good. And again, inhale and exhale. 2 more times to each side. Try and make sure your core muscles are coming in and down. Last one. And again, return through to center. Bring your knees in and place your head down. Place your feet back down onto the floor. Bring your knees and feet together and your arms slightly wider than the mat. We're going to go into a lovely hip roll, releasing any tension you're holding. So keep both sides of your waist long, breathing in. Breathing out, take your knees over to the side. Inhale back to center and to the other side. Good. Nice and smoothly and slowly. Good. One last time. Come back through to center, roll onto your side, and then we're going to roll straight onto our fronts to do a little bit of extension. We've done a lot of flexion today, so now we're just going to counterbalance that with a lovely diamond press. So lengthening yourself down onto the floor, fingers forming a diamond with your thumbs, elbows wide, legs extended behind you, hip distance apart. Going to keep our arms on the floor, breathing in and breathing out. Start lifting up through your head, neck, and top of spine. Feeling those muscles down the back of your spine, switching on, lengthen back down. So this is going to get really lovely spinal extensor strength here. Breathing out and coming in. So this time, if you want to, you can add in those arms. So breathing in, breathing out to lift, extending back down. Out to lift, really strong through your spine now. 2 more like this. And our final one, breathing out and in. Well done. Okay, so just adjusting position of your legs now. So turn your legs in your hips so that your toes are pointing out, your heels are in. Forehead down and hands slightly wider than the mat, level with your forehead. We're going to go into a cobra, so breathing in, breathing out. Start lifting up one bone at a time. Pausing if you need to in cobra prep, so you can stay here. Or you can still breathe out and lengthen your arms so you come into a really lovely cobra. Spinal extension here. And inhale to lengthen back down one bone at a time once again, tucking your nose under. So this time we're getting that gorgeous extension. Coming up one bone at a time. Weight going through your hands, really extended hands and fingers. Lengthening back down. Let your elbows come down as your mid-spine comes down. We've got 2 more here. Feel your glutes switch on. That's going to protect your lower back. Coming back down once more. And we have our final time. Lifting all the way up. Shoulders melting down your spine here. And coming back down. Okay, so we've got 1 more in this position. We're going to practice for our swan. So we're going to bring our hands down so that they're directly underneath our shoulders. Your elbows should be tight to your sides. I'm going to do exactly the same here, but keep on pushing up and you should find that your hips lift off the floor. Lengthening back down and tucking your nose under. So your hands are beneath your shoulders, elbows close to your sides, pushing your nose away. Lifting up, you're just getting more extension through your spine and right into your hips as well. So if you spend lots of time running or walking, this should feel really nice. You've got one last one like this. So this is a swan prep. If you Google Pilates one, you'll see the full exercise. Don't worry, we're not going to do that. Lifting all the way up and lengthening back down. And then we're going to push up and back into our relaxation position. So sending your bottom over your heels, arms going forward if you can get that shoulder extension. Breathing in and out here, just letting your lumbar spine release. Pressing back through, coming up to sitting and finding a position that suits you best. And we're going to go into a couple of side reaches. So breathing in, breathing out, reaching up and over. Restack and down and again, all the way up and over. Final one to each side. All the way up and over. And our last one. And then we're going to go both arms together. So breathing in, breathing out, reaching up, pressing the air away. And our final one, all the way up and pressing the air away. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me. So that was our last one, last Monday in July. I'm going to be continuing on Mondays throughout August. So please let me know if you'd like to join me. And please do transfer the money to my bank account. I think you've all got those details, but if you have any problems, let me know. I'd love it for you to continue working out with me through the summer. And the great thing is that even if you can't make the original time of the class, you can use it at a time to suit you. So hopefully wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you'll be able to join me and keep your Pilates practice up through August. Thanks again. Let me know if you have any questions about that exercise. Look after yourselves and hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.